Well, some of you have already been doing that. Here are some of the pictures that were sent in to us on our eyewitness portal. First is this picture from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, showing an accident scene at Wuse Zone 2 in Abuja. Our eyewitness reporter says accidents are rife on this road and is asking the Ministry of Transport to put speed breakers on the road for safety of lives. The next one shows the current state of a deplorable road, and that street is situated in Otokwa local government area of Benue State. According to our eyewitness reporter, this bad road has brought untold hardship to road users and has contributed to the dwindling economic activity in the area. And finally is this picture of a refuse dump taking over a street in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State. Our eyewitness reporter says vehicles can barely make it through, and he's appealing to residents to stop this practice. Well, thank you so much for sending in all your pictures, and we'd like to ask you to please keep them coming. Now, with over 20 million permanent voters' cards yet to be collected, the government seems to be getting creative about how to handle the situation. In the northeast, 2 camps have been set up for people displaced by the violence in Gujba and Gulani in Gombe State to enable them collect their cards. And in Imo State, the governor has declared a 2-day holiday for people to collect their PVCs. Our correspondent Loretta Chogo also reports that the INEC resident electoral commissioner in Lagos is proposing a holiday on Friday for the PVC collection.
After a meeting with the Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola, the INEC resident electoral commissioner discloses to journalists that eligible voters in the state are sure of getting their cards at the centers of registration.
Our appeal to Lagosians who have not collected theirs and who did register either in 2011 or last year, 2014, is now to come out to collect their cards. They are now as closest as it can be made available to them at their various homes near where they're going to vote, or exactly where they're going to vote on election days. So we urge them to find the time to also come out to collect the cards. We're also appealing at this moment to the Lagos State government to help us consider maybe declaring a public holiday on Friday or so to also enable people who are busy with work to come out and collect these cards.
There can't be a future of Imo State if you don't have a voter's card.
This is also the position of the governor of Imo State, as the extension of the PVC collection appears not to have produced a required result in the state. While addressing some civil servants in the state, the governor declares a 2-day public holiday on Thursday and Friday to enable indigents collect their PVCs. In Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, long queues of eligible voters are still visible, with complaints of ineffective distribution. Meanwhile, training for electoral supervisors and officers is on across the state. Participants will be equipped with the required knowledge of electoral innovations, especially in the use of the card readers. With just few days to the general elections and another week of extension for the collection of PVCs, the question remains, in the case where a voter haven't been able to exchange the temporary voter card for the PVC before the elections, what's next? Perhaps a food for thought for INEC. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, the spokesman of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu, has raised concerns over the reports that non-indigents are being prevented from collecting their permanent voters' cards in some parts of the country. Mr. Metu, who was speaking in Abuja, said majority of this group of voters are members of the party and should not be disenfranchised.
Control states, especially in Lagos State, the non-indigents are being denied their PVCs, collection of their PVCs. In some places, the non-indigenous PVCs are even burnt and destroyed. We have records of it, and we've asked the non-indigenous involved that if by Saturday, INEC continues with what they are saying, with what they are doing in collaboration with the APC, and not allowing them to collect to have their PVCs, we will decide on the next course of action. But we will not allow primary constituencies that we have to be disenfranchised for this election. We will not allow it. We will not sit down and allow it. Because it is a known fact that within the non-indigenous, 98.5% of them are PDP supporters.
Spokesman there of the People's Democratic Party, Olisa Metu. Now, in the meantime, the Independent National Electoral Commission in Cross River State has announced that voting materials have been dispatched to local government areas in the state. The resident electoral commissioner, Sylvester Oke, spoke at the commission's office in Calabar, the state capital. He said staff who would assist INEC in the general elections have been screened and training is going on. Mr. Oke also hinted that 80% of PVCs have been distributed to eligible voters in the state, while the remaining percentage will be distributed before the deadline for collection.
The non-sensitive materials we received all has been going to various local governments. I'll be moving them since yesterday. And 6 local governments was done yesterday, and we hope that by today we're going to do at least 9 because of the linearity of the state. So one from Calabar to some local government is about 8 hours. And we're quite ready. And the card readers we received all been upgraded to the Windows, and as I speak to you, they are being configured. So I think we're ready. We are quite ready. But actually, the most importantly now is that we are going to wait for the current PVC done 4 months ago, so that we can actually go to the waters to distribute some of them before the...
To activities on the campaign trail, the All Progressive Congress presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, has promised to stop youth restiveness in the country through job creation. At the party's presidential rally in Gombe, northeast Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari promised to ensure adequate power supply, which would boost the activities of small business owners. He also promised to fight corruption and invest the proceeds from corrupt government officials in the education and health sectors.
It's the presidential campaign of the All Progressives Congress in Gombe State. The venue of the rally was filled to capacity as party supporters from within and outside the state gathered to give their support to its flag bearer in the presidential elections. While addressing the people of Gombe State, the party's presidential candidate, General Muhammadu Buhari, promised to focus on job creation, resolve the epileptic power supply in the country, as well as fight corruption if elected into office.
ba su da aikin yi ko sun je makaranta ko ba su je ba saboda haka me za mu samu cikin gaugawa wanda zai taimaka masu su samu abin yi kafin ai kyawawan tsari misali na kawo wutar lantarki.
Party chieftains spoke on the need to make critical change in key sectors of the economy, and to this, they say the All Progressives Congress is the party to vote for.
Cikin ikon Allah da ni da sauran jama'ar APC na wannan jiha mun muku wannan gagaruwar marhaba domin mu tabbatar muku da cewa jihar Gombe da yardan Allah ta mallaku a hannun jam'iyyar APC.
The event was not only about speeches, as chieftains of the party received prominent indigenes of the state who defected from the People's Democratic Party.
I am here to receive a total of
15 people who have now joined the progress train.
It's less than 2 weeks to the presidential elections, and besides hoping for a violence-free elections, many Nigerians hope that politicians will fulfill their promises when elected into office.
The Rivers State Governor, Chibuike Amechi, has called on voters in the state to use their voting rights, as that's the only way of making the government accountable. Now, the governor spoke at the Rivers State All Progressive Congress campaign flag-off in Asari Toru local government area. The governor also promised to address the shortage of land among the Kalabari people, among other promises.
The Rivers State APC takes its campaign to Asari Toru local government area, Kalabari National College in Buguma. As the supporters chant the APC slogan, party leaders make statements of change at the federal level, but ask for continuity in Rivers State. The endorsement of the APC governorship candidate for Rivers State, Pt.2, takes a higher ovation as more party leaders continue to declare support for him. It's now time for the man of the moment, the governorship of flag bearer of the APC in Rivers State, Pt.2. He promises to address the land issues affecting the Kalabari people.
We shall reclaim land here, sandfield, do shore protection, so that every Kalabari man and woman who is growing up will have hope that he will have a piece of land to develop a house.
And then, Governor Amechi's turn to make a speech.
Learn to vote us out. The day you begin to vote people out is the day government becomes responsible to you. You agree? So, when it comes on the 14th, there is, for me, only one responsible candidate. One. His name is what?
As the elections draw near, it's been a tale of many promises, but the voters' choice would spell out their political fate in the next 4 years.
When the news at 10 returns, ICO Insurance PLC signs $20 million MOU with International Finance Corporation. That's on Business News. Join us again.